Wrestle. Wrestle. Huh? Look at. This is my wrestling warm-up jacket from when I wrestled my senior year in high school. Gaylord Blue Devils. That's the mascot. Delirium tremens, if you look it up in an old dictionary, that's what Blue Devils means. What did they expect? Yeah. Wrestling. The thing still fits. And actually, it fits me better than it did when I was in high school because I was wrestling 106 pounds at the end of the year. I started out at 98 at the beginning. But, yeah, look. It's not mine. It's the kids. It's the kids. He got a bronze the other day. His first tournament, his first meet. He went in there. There were kids just all over the place. Pulled himself a bronze. Fix my hair. You're gonna have Clint Eastwood being your soccer coach, wrestling coach. I don't ever know what it is we're doing. Yeah, he's gotta look like Clint Eastwood. I'm trying out for the role of Clint Eastwood as a wrestling coach for the kids. Put him in ghillie suits, let him crawl through the mud and wrestle in it. Some kids need mud to be able to squirm. See, that was the thing when I was in wrestling. Coach Becker, he would put me with all these other kids and kids that had been wrestling the whole time. We didn't have kid wrestling when we were growing up, but high school, 9th grade through 12th, these kids were going to state finals and stuff. He'd take me and go over there with him. I was wrestling Brett Roundy, who I think might have been 275 as a freshman, sophomore, and I was a senior. He was sitting there 106 pounds. Well, in that weight group, because I probably 103. And yeah, he'd just have me going with all these people. I think I was good. And I'd done some matches, and people that mattered to me saw me win. I was told I was like an animal the first match that anybody ever saw me in outside of wrestling practice. Tom Higgins said, "You're like an animal, Richie." Archie, he said that afterwards. He says, "You're like an animal." It's and it's a fine opportunity to beat somebody up in public where there are rules. Actually, you can get away with bare knuckle boxing, I suppose. You hit them once and they might give you a warning. Pow! But that'll rattle somebody's brain, won't it? Oh, I broke the rules. Shit. But the rules still have me in. You still want to go? That was actually Tom Higgins who had said to me, he said he didn't like to wrestle me. I was hard to wrestle, something like that. He said, you wiggle and squirm. And that's one of my best moves, the wiggle and squirm. I'm good at that. I get away with things. The other one was a cradle. And the thing I like about the kid being in wrestling right now, when he was talking about it, it came up very fast. It was like a last second thing. It was like, well, wrestling tomorrow, tonight? What? You ready to go? What? And he's like, I don't know. He didn't even know that it was happening, but we'd been wrestling in the yard the day before. Victoria and we were laughing because there's nothing like hearing the word wrestle And we joked about it for so long, and all of a sudden we were doing out there, and next day he's wrestling. And so, and I explained to him, I said, you know, there are things in life, you know, I took a taekwondo class once at Michigan State. I am a yellow belt. I didn't do it to become a pro fighter in taekwondo. You got to learn how to punch and kick properly, you know. Ha, ha. That's just basketball. Yeah, these are things you can go through your life and you can use them. Like that time Rick McCarthy, my boss, Billy Ray Shelton Jr., he said, Judas, you have my permission to kick Rick's ass. And I was like, I wasn't even thinking about it. I really wasn't. I'm very calm. And so the next opportunity came up, Wrestle. I gotta go, cut, going around and I got him in a cradle. And that's what Dave Walker said one time. He was flopping, and I was like, calm down. Dave Walker was a state championship wrestling guy, you know, type of thing. And Becker says, get in with him. You know, and I got him in a cradle, and he's hopping around, and I said, I got you. And, you know, in that time, and I've used this through the years in Mary's Tavern, when I got someone, and I fucking got him, and I just say, calm down, and I fucking got him, and I'm saying, calm down. That's one of my lines. That, and I gotta get out of here. It's like Bruce Lee said, either every adult male should be able to fight when he has to and run when he needs to. So there's either calm down or I gotta get out of here. And I never made the connection. Right in line, I feel highly enlightened. But the thing is, I Rick McCarthy like that, and I'm saying, calm down. He's got, he said, I'm gonna puke. And I said, that's all right. I said, I get dirty at work anyway. And then tapped out. I let him up, and he's sitting there, and he gets up, and he says, and he goes puking pink froths of shit. Which what I learned in my scuba diving class a few years later, or a year later, somewhere around there, that I took at San Jose State. Took a scuba diving class. That's like, not an embolism, it's that damn thing in your lungs. I forgot it. I always mixed up embolism and this one. But yeah, it's you're spewing shit up. Yeah, I fucked him up. But it stopped the onslaught. So these are things you can use through the years. You never know when it's going to need to adapt and change to a new situation. When I was 12, I acted like I was going to wrestle a kid because we were wrestling already, and somebody came up at the open fist and said, hey, get out of here. You want to fight? Go somewhere else. And so we went to the community center on the tennis courts and went like that, and he was going to be a wrestler when he grew up like his brother. I didn't know anything about it. I was just good at wrestling even before I ever wrestled. And he's like, and I punched him in the face, just like I said. I didn't even know why that came up. I punched him in the face, and that threw the whole thing off. Weren't wrestling anymore. But the thing with wrestling, it doesn't always work. That's a fine example, the beginning of that. It's good to know it if you get on the ground, but you don't ever want to be on the ground. You want the other guy on the ground. You're just trying to stop the onslaught here. I saw a guy on the Strand in Myrtle Beach. Maybe it was Daytona. I was with Baca. There were people standing there, they're always fighting on these people on the streets, and we get in fights and all this stuff. And yell at girls, shake it like a white girl and things. That's what Baca kept saying. And He's a white dude. As white as you get for being a baka. He'd say it wasn't a racist slur. It was just, and the white girls would turn around going, ee, and shake their butts and they laugh and yeah, anyway. But this guy was standing there. These guys were about to fight. And the one guy went down and you could tell he was a state championship wrestler. He went right into his stance. And we're driving by slowly because traffic's in a cruise mode. You know, people are cruising the Strand, the Strip. So you get to see the whole thing. He's like, yeah. And he went in to do a double leg. And the guy's standing there. He put his legs together. The guy's standing up above him. And he just said, whack. Punched him in the back of the head and was going whack, whack, whack. That was over fast. Sometimes you don't want to start with wrestling. If there are only two people in the fight, third place isn't always the best.